Most guys think their forearms are stuck at whatever size they were born with, but that's only because almost nobody trains the muscles that actually make them grow. The crazy part? One tiny section of your forearm controls more strength, thickness, and definition than most people realize. And it's the exact one almost every lifter ignores. Walk into any gym and you'll see the same thing. Everyone hammering chest, arms, and shoulders, while their forearms look like an afterthought. The usual excuse is genetics, as if wrist size is some fixed limit carved in stone. But the truth is simpler. Most guys never give these muscles real tension. What they're unknowingly skipping is the grip strength that makes every other lift stronger, the protection that keeps your elbows and wrists injury-free, and the visual balance that makes your arms look complete. And the strangest part? Fixing all of this doesn't require a long workout. Just two movements done properly. Your forearms run on three major players: the flexors underneath, the extensors on top, and the brachioradialis that pops near the elbow. Almost every gym routine accidentally hits only one of them, leaving the others completely undertrained. That imbalance is exactly why forearms look flat instead of full. Once you understand how each muscle fires, the right exercises suddenly become obvious. And the first one instantly changes how your entire forearm develops. Wrist extensions. If there's one movement almost every lifter avoids, sometimes without even realizing it, it's wrist extensions. And that's wild, because this is the exact exercise that builds the muscle responsible for that raised, armor-like ridge running across the top of the forearm. The part that makes your arm look strong, even when it's relaxed. Most people have never trained this muscle directly, which is why their forearms stay flat no matter how many curls they do. To perform it properly, the setup is simple, but the control is everything. Sit down, rest your forearm on your thigh, and let your wrist hang off the edge with your palm facing down. Hold a light dumbbell, lighter than your ego wants you to choose, and start by letting the wrist drop naturally. Now lift the weight using only your wrist, not your elbow, not your shoulder, not a full body swing. Just that small hinge at the end of your forearm. When you slow down and force the muscle to do the lifting, you'll feel a type of tension that almost no other exercise creates. It's sharp, controlled, and very specific, which is exactly what makes it so powerful. And here's where most guys ruin it. They speed through the rep like they're in a race. Fast up, fast down, zero control. That turns the exercise into nothing more than momentum. But when you pause for a split second at the top, squeeze the extensors, and then lower the weight slowly, almost as if you're resisting a pull, everything changes. That slow negative is what floods the muscle with real stimulus. It teaches the extensors to fire, strengthens the small connective tissues around the wrist, and gives that dry, detailed look on the upper forearm that most people think comes only from genetics. The extensors are small muscles, so they fatigue quickly, but they also recover fast. 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps is the sweet spot. Those last reps should burn enough to make your hands shake a little, and that's when you know you're finally targeting the muscle that's been ignored your entire lifting life. The crazy part? Once these extensors catch up in strength, your entire upper body performance improves. Your pulls feel stronger, your wrists feel more stable, and everyday grip tasks suddenly feel effortless. Exercise number 2, wrist curls. If wrist extensions carve out the top of your forearm, wrist curls are the movement that builds the heavy, dense thickness underneath, the part that actually makes your forearms look big from every angle. This is the muscle group most lifters think they're training when they grab a barbell and curl, but they aren't. The flexors barely activate during regular curls because stronger muscles take over. But when you isolate them directly, the difference is immediate and almost shocking. Set up the same way you did for extensions. Sit down, rest your forearm on your thigh, and let your wrist hang off the edge. But this time, your palm faces upward. The position alone changes everything. When you let the dumbbell roll slightly toward your fingers, you'll feel a stretch that most people have never experienced before. That stretch is important. It loads the muscle from the very bottom and sets you up for a powerful contraction. Now curl the weight using only your wrist. No elbow lift, no upper arm movement, no leaning back. Just a clean, controlled hinge. When you reach the top, pause for a moment and squeeze, really squeeze, like you're trying to crush the dumbbell handle. That pulse of tension at the peak is what builds density and strength. Without that squeeze, you're only going through the motion. The biggest problem people make here is rushing the movement. They let the weight fall, bounce it off their fingers, and yank it back up with momentum. Not only does that kill the stimulus, but it also invites wrist discomfort. Slow the lowering phase. Feel the stretch, control the ascent. That rhythm of stretch, lift, and squeeze is what creates the round, full shape that makes the forearms pop, even when your arms are hanging naturally at your sides. Just like extensions, go for 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps. By the time you hit the last few reps, you should feel that deep burn that makes your entire forearm tighten like a rope. And if you want a pump that feels like your skin is about to split, pair this exercise and wrist extensions back to back with no rest between them. A simple superset that exaggerates the tension and forces more blood into the muscle than it's used to handling. Beyond the pump, wrist curls do something extensions alone can't. They strengthen your grip in a way that carries over to everything, from deadlifts and rows to pull-ups and even daily tasks like carrying groceries or heavy bags. Strong flexors make your entire arm feel more connected, more stable, and more powerful. And once you combine extensions and curls, you unlock a level of forearm development most guys never reach. Once you've mastered the 2 foundational exercises, these bonus movements take your forearms from impressive to intimidating. They aren't mandatory for growth, but they create a level of strength, density, and endurance that instantly sets you apart from the average lifter. Each one targets a different layer of the forearm, fibers that traditional training barely touches, and that's why the results stack fast when you add them in. 1. Farmer's walk. On the surface, the farmer's walk looks too simple to matter. Pick up heavy weights and walk, but simplicity is the trick. When you load your hand with real weight, something unusual happens. Your forearms take over completely. Every step forces your grip to fight gravity, and every second your muscles hold on, the tension builds deeper and deeper. Most lifters discover their forearms fail long before their legs or lungs ever get tired, and that's exactly why this movement works so well. It exposes weaknesses instantly and forces the forearms to adapt at a pace they're not used to. No other exercise gives you this kind of constant, unbroken resistance. The key is going heavy enough that your grip is fighting for survival by the end of the walk. Shoulders back, core tight, eyes forward, and let the weights drag your strength out of hiding. 20 to 30 meters is plenty for each round. The moment you feel the dumbbells slipping from your hands, that's the gold zone where the most growth happens. An added bonus? This movement doesn't just build muscle, it builds confidence. When you can carry serious weight with ease, everything else in the gym starts feeling lighter. 2. Reverse curl. The reverse curl is one of the most underrated exercises in the entire gym. Most people avoid it because it feels awkward, but that awkwardness is proof that it's hitting muscles they've ignored for years. When your palms face downward, your biceps take a back seat. Suddenly, the brachioradialis and upper forearm extensors have to do all the work. That shift does more than build size. It changes the shape of your arms. It adds width near the elbow, giving your forearms that thick, powerful silhouette even when your arms are relaxed at your sides. This movement makes the top portion of your forearm stand out in a way regular curls never could. The trick is to keep the movement strict. Lock your elbows against your torso so the forearms have no choice but to carry the entire load. Lift with control, pause at the top, and resist on the way down. When you slow the negative, you can feel the muscle fibers firing in a way that feels almost unfamiliar. And that's how you know you're training something that's been ignored. Even with lightweight, the pump is intense. After a few sets, the top of your forearm feels swollen, tight, and full. Exactly what you want if you're trying to build that rugged, defined look. 3. Hammer curl. Hammer curls are more than a biceps accessory. They're a direct attack on the brachioradialis, the muscle that gives your forearms that round, heavy look. When your palms face each other, the angle forces your forearms to stabilize the weight from the side, creating tension through fibers that standard curls barely reach. This movement builds strength, thickness, and structural support all at once. When done correctly, it's one of the few exercises that makes your forearms feel like they're filling with cement. Dense, solid, and unshakable. To get maximum benefit, lock your palms into a true neutral position. No rotation, no cheating. Bring the dumbbells up with slow, smooth control, pause at the peak, and lower with intention. When your arms hang at your sides afterwards, you'll instantly see that thicker outline along the lateral part of the forearm, the exact visual most lifters chase but never achieve. Hammer curls also pair perfectly with the other movements because they hit the brachioradialis from a different angle, creating a balanced, full arm look that stands out whether you're holding weight or just standing naturally. Together, these three bonus movements round out your forearm development in a way most people never experience. They hit the muscles from every angle, build functional strength, and give your arms that hardened, powerful appearance that can't be faked. And once you integrate them consistently, your forearms start growing in ways that turn heads, even before you flex. At the end of the day, building massive forearms isn't complicated. It's just something most people overlook. When you train the muscles that everyone else ignores, you unlock strength, control, and definition that show up in every lift you do. Wrist extensions and wrist curls are the foundation, and the bonus movements simply push your results further, giving your arms that hardened, powerful look most lifters never reach. But forearms are only half of what makes your arms stand out. If you want the upper arm to match the strength and size you're building here, there's another set of movements you should be focusing on. The ones that finally made my own arm training click. Check that out next, and you'll have the full blueprint for arms that look and perform on a completely different level.